Welcome to the Mind Solution podcast with Sarah Maud. The Mind Solution podcast is for leaders like you who are passionate about well-being in the workplace because you understand that a strong, resilient and happy workforce is the key to your organisation's success. The Mind Solution podcast is here to help you. So join us every week where we'll share with you powerful insights, strategies and know-how to ensure that your people and your organisation are truly thriving from the inside out. Hi there and welcome. And today what I'm going to invite us to do is take the stress test. Now, what I mean by that is I see an awful lot of organisations investing in lots of different workplace wellbeing initiatives. And they spend a lot of time, a lot of energy and a lot of money investing in various initiatives. But what I don't see all the time is giving our employees, our people, the foundation of knowledge when it comes to the neuroscience of stress. When it comes to that initial basic awareness of what actually creates stress in the first place. Now, stress isn't an uncommon term. I mean, we've been bandying the word stress around for donkey's years. And particularly in the workplace, we hear all the time about work-related stress. Now, I'll be honest with you, if we were looking at this from a neuroscience perspective, there isn't actually such a thing as work-related stress. Because the truth is, nothing on the outside is creating stress on the inside. Now, I know you might have to pause this and think, what did she just say? And rewind it. So I'll say it again. Nothing on the outside of us is actually creating stress. So we hear a lot about different stress triggers, like my job is stressful. This project's stressing me out. My manager's stressing me out. This conversation is stressing me out. Any number of things that we identify in our external environment that we contribute to how we are feeling in the moment. I mean, we even hear people say, today is going to be really stressful. Now, how can somebody look at their whole day and look at things that haven't even happened yet and say that the whole day is going to be really stressful? That's just untrue. Because the only thing that we can ever know about is right here and right now in this present moment. We don't know what we're going to be feeling in an hour's time. We don't know what we're going to be feeling in 2 hours' time. We certainly don't know what we're going to be feeling by the end of the day, because that's the future. So when you say, or when you have people say that today's going to be stressful, all that they are doing is they are just projecting what they think the day's going to be like. And all that that's going to create is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because all that we are ever reacting to in the moment is what's going on the inside. So when we hear about things being stressful on the outside, it's not that anything outside of us is stressful. The stress is only generated from the perceptual map and model that we carry around inside our neurophysiology, which boils down to your thoughts. The only thing that is creating any stress, any feelings of stress in the moment are your thoughts in the moment. And when we get tangled up in our thoughts, it can create feelings that feel very real. But when we recognize that and when we understand that, then we can untangle ourselves from that. We can take ourselves back to our natural state of well-being. Because the truth is, we are well-beings. We're all well-beings. So it's not about how do we create well-being in the workplace. It's more about what are we doing as individuals to take ourselves away from that natural place of well-being. What are managers doing to take people away from well-being? What are organisations doing that take people away from well-being? So coming back to stress, you can have the most coolest well-being initiatives out there. But unless people really understand the neuroscience of stress, unless they understand the way that the mind works, then the well-being initiatives that you've created are not going to create the level of impact that you'd like them to have at all commercial and strategic levels of the organisation. So we know that from a lot of our management mental health training, one of the biggest impacts that the training has is first and foremost on the managers themselves. In fact, even this week we were delivering some training for an organisation, and I was chatting to one of the managers, and she was telling me that she was absolutely blown away because she'd been looking at this list, this indicator of the signs and symptoms that you're in the stress response, and she was just amazed at how many of those she was ticking herself, and she didn't know. And that's really common because in today's world, we've adjusted to this way of living, this way of life, which is this always switched on culture. You know, even when you're sitting at home and you may be watching a really nice movie, you're usually also on your phone, having a look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, looking at your emails. You're switched on. And when we're constantly switched on, our minds are just overstimulated. And we experience this mental exhaustion, this mental fatigue. And quite often people, they don't know how to just be. They often feel like they need to be doing something. And even I've heard many people over the years say, I don't like being on my own because I don't want to be around my own thoughts. People are often scared to be around their own thoughts, so they're constantly looking to distract themselves, which again creates stress. So as an organisation, if you want any of your workplace training and wellbeing initiatives to have the fundamental impact that they can have on absence, that they can have on productivity, and they can have on performance, that they can have on reducing customer complaints, improving turnover, improving sales targets, improving the harmony of relationships internally, any number of measurements, any number of impacts that this kind of training can have, then I would encourage you, start by going back to basics and build from there. Because you can have the coolest wellbeing initiatives, you can have really fabulous things, but create the right foundation first. It's like building a house. You know, you've got to have a strong, solid foundation before you start adding the walls and the roof and the windows. So if you are listening to this and really resonating with this and thinking, yeah, we need to give our people this information. We need to teach them how the mind works so that they can navigate themselves at any one time to a better place, a calmer place internally, then get in touch with us at www.themindsolution.com, and we look forward to talking to you soon. But for now, have a wonderful day.